My name's Ricky Grady, and this is my father, Ricky Grady. Since I'm going to business major at UNC Greensboro, I chose to interview him for this project so I can ask him things about business industry and just what he thinks is going on in the future as far as things like that go. The first question I have is, what made you start your business?
I had got a job and got out of high school in '75, got a job with the company in '77, and it just was, selling mobile homes and stuff. And the company at the time was probably one of the biggest companies it's the biggest company in North Carolina probably. Had like 102 stores, and after about 3 years of selling, and then I managed a lot for about 2 years, and they maybe promoted me to a district manager for about 3 or 4 years, and finally they went bankrupt. And so I had a friend that was brave enough to have left before they went bankrupt. They opened up a store in Lumberton, and he helped me get my business started in Goldsboro. And it just kind of accidentally evolved from new homes to repos, because I had another acquaintance with a fellow that with the company for it was kind of short, about 12 months, maybe a year and a half at the most, after Connor had went out of business. A company called Bob's Homes, and we had met each other, and he found out that I was trying to get a business started, and he told me if I'd get rid of my new homes that he'd bring us some pre-owned homes. And so
Come here, buddy.
the pre-owned homes was the best way to go, because they basically were free. Once the company brought them to you, you just sold them at a commission, but you didn't have any overhead.
And I will say, the business that he owns is Goldsboro Homes, which is the mobile home buying and selling business.
And we sell modulars and single wides, double wides, kind of some all of it. But it just kind of accidentally blossomed for 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5 years, the repo business was pretty strong with big companies like Greentree, Sunbank. Just several banks were bringing homes to us. And I guess what was good for the banks, when it finally started to dry up, we had to have some inventory. So I had started blending in a couple of new ones. Mm-hmm. We'd have like 15, 18 repos and maybe 2 or 3 new ones. And so obviously when the repo market kind of dried up and the economy got a little better, we had to make a decision to stay in business. We had to kind of switch over to all new homes, and now probably for the last 6-7 years we ain't even had a repo. We just finally got a call to pick up a repo last week, but the girl said she only had like 2 in North Carolina. So I mean, you just don't see repo dealerships anymore like the one I had there at one time. We had probably 25 houses on the average, and we'd sell 8 to 10 a month back then.
And that kind of goes to some other questions I had thought out. I was going to ask, how do you think the business has changed in the past couple, since you started, I guess? So it's gone more from repos to newer.
Our business, the market industry in general, mm-hmm. has gone from what used to be a dealership in North Carolina, South Carolina, these places, was the typical dealership was like 2 double wides and maybe 6 or 7 single wides. Mm-hmm. And that was, kind of economical. It wasn't very expensive to set up a double wide. It was very expensive to set up a single wide, so it didn't take a lot of cash flow. Mm-hmm. Then just, the market kind of evolved again, and the modular units come out, and all of a sudden you have the dealer spending $100,000 just for one house, and it takes another $30,000 or $40,000 to set it up. And so the market kind of evolved. There was probably, even in Goldsboro, Wayne County, at one time there was probably within a 5-mile radius, probably 15 to 18 dealers.
Wow. And
things were jamming. When things got tough back in 2008, that's fell down to, there was like 3 of us independents out there and 1 Clayton store in Goldsboro now. So it fell from like 18 dealerships down to about 3 or 4.
Where do you see the industry going in the future? You see it getting better, or worse? What you really think is going to
I
happen
think
to it?
people are getting smart enough now that it seems like the modulars have kind of leveled off a little bit. We're still selling a few of them, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like people are getting kind of tired of being in debt. It's kind of falling back into double wides and single wides, and I don't know if we've just had a lucky streak or what the deal is, but we're trying to stock about 3 or 4 mods, 3 or 4 single wides, and 3 or 4 double wides. And the double wides and single wides is almost, just it doesn't take a whole lot to set them up, a lot of expense in delivering them and stuff, and that works out pretty well for us. But so I don't know whether I think the mods are here to stay. They're a level under that stick-built house that gives people 2,300 square feet for $140,000-$150,000, where to get that in the real estate, in a stick-built, so to speak, house, you probably have to, number one, you probably have to find one 25, 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And to get that same square footage, of course, it comes with the lot, the land. But even with land, when our customers buying the nicer mods that we have, and if they spend $20,000 on a lot, they usually got $150,000 to $170,000 in their project, and it's affordable. But it does seem like a lot of young people are going back and they're buying the single wides again, and they're kind of getting something that they don't have to worry about, that the payment's really affordable, and so it's just hard to tell where the trend is. It just says the economy does seem to be getting better. That's in the last 6 or 7 months, probably.
That's good. Thank you for taking time to speak with me. Appreciate it. And
look it up.
Yep, that'll be it.